In the assignments page, the instructor can create assignments by selecting questions from the All Questions tab. They can filter which types of questions they would like to select from. This includes writing questions. They can expand each question in the list to see the prompt. They can also select rubric settings to see the alternative rubrics they can use to grade the written responses. Alternative rubrics have different rubric items which are used to score a response. Rubric items are key points that students must identify and explain in their response. An alternative rubric can also be created and added for a written question. In the All Questions list, the instructor can select and add a question to the assignment. They are informed that the question has been added and they can view it in the Assignments tab. Here they can edit the assignment, including the point values for questions, descriptions for the assignment, and due dates. On the Assignments page, the instructor can create new assignments. The instructor can review students' turned-in assignments. Here they are informed that their attention is required for grading the question about the Great Depression. They can view the student's response on the right. They can also close the student's response and view the rubric options. They can see the alternative rubrics that can be used to grade the response and choose to try it. When they try a rubric, it demonstrates how 10 random students' answers would be graded based on the rubric. The instructor can choose one to see how the response is graded based on the rubric they are trying. It uses color-coded highlights to indicate where rubric items are correctly or incompletely identified. After reviewing the whole response, the instructor can see a summary of how the paper would be scored, which explains if the student included and described a rubric item correctly or incorrectly, and if they excluded one altogether. The summary includes an outline of how the response would be scored and the total score for the assignment. If the instructor clicks one of the highlighted rubric items in the summary, it will show where it is mentioned in the student's response. Similarly, if they click a color-coded item in the response, it will take them to the item in the summary. If the instructor thinks the scoring offered by a rubric is acceptable, they can click Choose It to implement it. Once the instructor has selected a rubric, they can click Grade It. As indicated by the notification, all responses to this question will be scored based on the rubric. They can click Apply to begin grading. When it is done, they receive a notification that all answers to the questions have been graded using the rubric. After applying the rubric to grade the questions, they can review the rest of the assignment and click Return. The status of the assignment will change from Turned In to Reviewed. In the Assignments page, the student can see their assignments and comments from the instructor. Here, the student reviews an assignment that has been reviewed by the instructor. They can see their score for each question and expand the written question to see how it was scored. On the left, they see the response with color-coded items that correspond with the rubric items. Green indicates that they correctly described a rubric item, and orange indicates that they incorrectly described a rubric item. On the right, they see their total score and a summary that uses the same color codes, and red to indicate that they failed to identify a rubric item. At the bottom right, they can see how many points they received for each part of the rubric.